Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you more to the meta. So I'm actually rolling with the offensive playbook, the Colts, per request with some of my viewers, and I want to kind of show you how I run my particular offense. I blended a lot of stuff that I like to do with Chicago into this scheme. I ran into a guy that deliberately knew what he was doing on offense and defense. So basically he had some money plays, some YouTube plays. You can see the previous video I posted where I actually show where I was able to go ahead and shut his offensive down and get some lucky breaks to actually pick up the victory. This is the offensive side of this, and he ran, in particular, his play that he ran was the Hot Blitz 3 out of the nickel 3-3 odd. So he ran this. He made a lot of adjustments out of it. He was a switch sticker. So if you run into someone that really knows how to switch stick well, you can get yourself in some major problems, and you'll see where I do make a mistake and actually turn the ball over to this guy because he switch sticked on the right person and able to go ahead and get an interception from me. So anytime I start my offense, I always go with a heavy set. I like to do this wing close formation where I've got two tight ends right here. I like to come out of a set. He's in a 43-61 front, so he's got, you know, his linebackers off the edge. He's got four guys in the line. He's got a guy over the middle, and he's got, you know, a quarters coverage type over the top. So I think I went ahead, switched into one of the plays, and really what I'm doing is I'm trying to read this defender right here just to see if I can throw that. Now, typically what I like to do on this play is the following adjustments. I like to go ahead and put this guy onto a curl flat, basically a curl. I've got this little like over the cross. I've got a little outside whip. And then what I like to do is do another return route right here, but I forgot to make that adjustment when I got into this play. Left the play stock, and I don't have the right adjustment right here. So when I run this play, I'm watching this defender to see if he falls back into the zone. If he comes down and attacks, then I'm going to usually hit this area right here, but if not, I'll make my next progressions on the other side of the field. Now, he's playing in the middle of the field, so I've got basically these two guys that are going to be over the middle of the field. So my next progression is to watch the inside return, but what happens is the return isn't there, and I'm waiting for this route to develop, and I'm just like, oh no, this is not good. So I actually started looking to go to this guy right here. His user was in the area, and this is where I think I just kind of like threw the ball away. Unfortunately, I get a good play right there. So it's a 2nd and 10 situation. So now I jump into this play, which is weak flood. This is a really, really good play that I like in my scheme. And you've got this little concept right here, and I find this route gets really good separation, and depending on the coverages, because these guys clear out, this will be wide open. Now I like to build around it. I found that this route that goes over the top of it, if you leave it stock, he's too close. So I used to go ahead and take it and actually put it up to another level, but I find that the best thing to do is to give myself a hot read in case a guy's blitzing. So I'm going to put I'll put just a standard curl route when I actually select this play. And the reason I do this is that if it's a man blitz and these guys come down attacking me, I can usually hit this route for an easy completion for a first down. So you'll watch right here, I'm watching, his guys are floating up. I've got this little curl route. He carries with the underneath route and then kind of stops, and now you can see he actually goes ahead and he switch sticks off. So I can look to this route. He's actually in position, and I've got the little a ghost route on the back side right here. But this route, once it gets past the coverage, I've got this completely cleared out, and you'll see with the progressions, I'm able to go ahead and get a nice completion, get some good blocking down the field, and get myself a good 20-yard gain or so. That worked out for me. So now I come back into this into another play. I decided to go and hit this guy with a stretch. Nobody carries over. And I'm thinking, okay, I've got some pretty good blocking right here. This guy should hook and carry. And if I can get to the outside, I can get some pretty good yards. But this guy's got really good user with his middle linebacker. He gets out wide. I get some okay blocking, but you can see he actually went ahead and got some pretty good blocking, some good run support right there with his user. So he did a good job. 2nd and 8, I go ahead and do the RPO. I'm looking at these defenders, and I'm just going to go ahead and just hit this guy with the tight end. Throw it, get really, really good blocking right there. I'm able to pick up, you know, a broken tackle and actually get a good 30-yard gainer right there with that play. So now I'm going to go into the tight split field backfield. So I've got 2 running backs in this type of situation, and I've got a run that goes this way, and I got a run that goes this way, and then I've got one play which would be the wheel concept that you got. That's a standard play that I like to set up. And then I have another play where basically I've got kind of an option right here. I do a little out, and I've got an inside whip with the sail concept on the backside. So those are basically the plays that I have in this scheme. I like to try to run right away just to see if I can get away with it. And you can see right here, he clicks off his defender. I break a tackle, get 3 yards, and that's all right. I want to establish and run against this guy. So now he jumps into his 3-3 odd defense. This is pretty much the defense he ran pretty much the rest of the game right here. So he's got a press look with his defense, and I'm going to go ahead and motion this guy out. This is a play that I've used before in pass, and when you motion this guy out, he's got a little wheel that actually gets stepped, and a lot of times it happens is this defender might have a deep third or some type of responsibility, and what happens is this area will be open for an easy completion. So I motion him out and snap the ball right away, and you can see this guy has to bail. He's coming down hard flat, hard flat. I don't know what's going on with this. I think there's a blitz on the backside. I probably could have thrown this route on the outside, but he's got a like little curl flat or curled flat defender over here. But I'm always going to be going to this route right here. As you can see, I pick up another first down right there, falling forward. So back to this gun flanker close formation. Jump into the wheeled flood, do the little curl route, and I think he actually hits me with kind of an outside blitz. I'm looking to the curl route, and that gets, he's got his guys kind of in the way, so I'm just going to go and check it down to the drag underneath. Once again, pick that up. It just seems like this particular route combination, this formation, really gets that drag underneath wide open. So 2nd and 1 situation, I go ahead and jump back into this play, but I put a whip on the backside with the anticipation that if he runs some type of man coverage, the whip will get separation with any kind of man coverage. So once again, I'm going to show this guy, same look again, slide this guy out. You can see it's the man coverage, but because I've got that whip, I'm able to go ahead and get the ball down to the 2-yard line. So just grinding away against this guy's hot blitz 3. Now I jump into the RPO, and if I like the look, I'm just going to snap it really quick. He actually had a defender, I think, who's manned up and actually comes down. So this guy actually had some RPO defense. You can see the one guy kind of slides out. He clicked onto that guy, but I'm able to fall forward and get a touchdown against him. So he knew what he kind of anticipated it, and I realized, okay, I can't keep coming back to that. So I get a turnover. Got 48 seconds in all 3 of my timeouts. I'm basically on the 20-yard line. I've got 80 yards to go. I'm thinking, okay, if I just need to get to field goal range because this guy gets the ball in the second half, I got to work this pretty effectively. So I go into one of my favorite plays in this scheme, which is basically this verticals concept, where I'll drag this guy up. I got a deep comeback route. I've got this little seam route, and I'm going to basically look to the drag 2, 3, and then here's my 4th read that I'm going to look to. I'm going to watch this defender to make my progressions and reads a little bit quicker. So if this defender carries, that means I've got man coverage across the board. If this guy kind of floats up, then that means I've got zone coverage, and I'll make my progressions from there. So we're going to watch the guy over birding. Actually, he carries a little bit and stops, and then I'm looking to this little crossing route back here, but you can see this guy's playing hard flat. He's got it over the top coverage. So this guy was running that blitz 3, but he was running different hybrid coverages on the backside. I'm looking at this route. He's actually playing that route. I don't really have anywhere to go with it, and I misthrow the ball. I think I tried to throw the ball over, but this guy's playing hybrid coverages out of this blitz 3, so he's showing me the same look, but he's doing completely different things on the back end of the coverage, disguising his coverage. So this guy was playing high Madden defense, showing me the same look, pressing everybody down and making adjustments. So now I go ahead and jump into basically one of my favorite plays too. What I'm doing is I'm streaking this guy up, I've got this fade, I have a slant on the back side, and I've got this little option route, which really what I'm doing is watching this defender. This defender comes down and plays the option. I'll throw the option, but if he slides out, if he stays in, I'll make my other regressions. But he's been playing a lot of this cover 3, so I decided I'm going to peek at that slot defender that's going to be over my tight end and see if he lets me go. And he uses that guy. And I actually throw it up with the anticipation I'm going to go into repletion. So I get a lucky break right there. It doesn't happen later on to this, but I actually threw it as user, and my tight end is able to come down with it. So now I go ahead and jump into 4 verticals once again. Once again, this guy kind of carried and stopped. He's clicking on to different guys right here. What I'm going to do is once again streak this guy up, and I've got a deep comeback route. Now, if this guy's not playing, unless he's playing up on top, that means he's going to be out of position. So we're going to come back to that comeback route that I have in this particular play, because he's switch sticking around. You can see he switches off to the left, comes back to the middle of the field. He's got some pressure coming in, but I've got this deep comeback route with nothing underneath it. So this is going to be the area I'm going to go to, and you can see I hit that, and I get a nice little completion and pick up a couple more yards right there. 34 seconds left, and I'm actually starting to be, I'm actually in field goal range against this guy. So if I could pick up some more yards, I'm going to be doing very good. So he goes once again with the blitz, presses everybody down. I go ahead and jump into, the standard money play that a lot of players like to use. I'm going to auto motion over the top, or do the cross right here, and you can see he's playing over the middle of the field. But your first read is this whip, just to see he's sending a blitzer in. So that whip is going to be wide open. So I click onto the whip, and I get some good blocking right here, and I get the ball down to the 10-yard line. He does get a strip opportunity, but I'm able to pick the ball up, so I got a little break right there. So 27 seconds left, 1 timeout. I got a couple shots in the end zone. If I run on the clock and take 3, that's okay, because he's getting the ball in the second half. So I decided to go into basically this concept right here, where I've got 2 ends and then I've got a corner. And because he's been running a lot of hybrid coverages, so I think what I did is I decided to go ahead and put this guy in a smoke route. Now, the reason I did a smoke route is because he's been running a lot of hybrid coverages. And if this guy's locked up, that means there's not going to be anybody falling back into this zone right here. I've got leverage on this guy right here, so I can hit this if I get the read, because there's no defender that's over here to play this, and all I like to do is just read this guy right here and throw it to the corner. So as you can see, snap the ball, this guy bites down. So I've got another in route that's on the back of it, but I'm looking to this route all the way, and I'm so excited to see that this guy actually gave me the coverage that he wants. He actually had a defender. He had these guys cross-manned with his assignments. This guy was doing a lot of hybrid looks, and he's doing this is high-level Madden type stuff that you're trying to catch people off guard. I'm able to go and throw the ball, but I sailed the ball a little bit. Could have got picked off because he was clicking onto that guy, and as a result, I do not get a touchdown. So 2nd and 10 situation, I think I was a little bit frustrated on that. I knew I had an opportunity. Didn't think he was going to come back that again. So now I go into the switch play. I streak this guy up, and I'm going to peek at this really quick just to see if anybody falls. But here's a challenge with this play, and this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking to this outside slant, and this is where I shouldn't be doing this. Now, if you take a look at this, I've got a defender here, I got a defender here, I got a defender here. Now, if this guy comes in rushing, like a lot of people like to do with the blitz, then that means I have an opportunity or pocket to actually hit underneath. But everything's pressed, and I think he has this manned up. What I should be doing is looking to this side of the field, and you're going to see that this little wheel route is not covered and it's open. But I was looking to this side of the field. I'm watching for this slant to open up. I'm anticipating the slant to open up, and that doesn't happen. So we're going to go ahead and snap the ball and show you my reads. So this guy's actually picked up right here. Blitzer comes in. I'm looking to get underneath this. This guy's pressing. He's coming down. And when you take a look at the other side of the field, even though this guy's manned up, he's using this guy, and this is wide open. I totally missed it because I was looking to this side of the field, trying to wait for this route to get across the middle of the field. He does get himself a nice little block shed with his defensive line. This is the advantage of running with the Packers, is that you guys, it's a very good defensive line. You got 2 star pass rushers. Those guys are going to get past, subpar players. So here I jump back into the motion Y post again, with the anticipation that I can hit this guy over the middle of the field or basically hit the seam. I've hit other people with the seam route and pick up some pretty good yards. So I figured maybe I can do this because he's going to be conscious of this route right here. And we're going to go ahead and snap the ball. Once again, motion play right here. And you can see the whip is actually taken away. He's got a floating zone right here. This is basically kind of double teamed. This route, I probably could have thrown a little bit earlier, but he would have got tackled short of the field. And I'm looking to basically this post route. If I would have waited maybe a little bit longer, that'd be good, but you're going into these other 2 guys right here, and I just try to hit the seam. His user's right on top of it. I got away with a challenge last time, and he picks me right off. So I just, just a bad decision right there. I challenged his user. I got away with one earlier, and it worked out for him. So he has another turnover in the third quarter in his first possession. So right here he goes back to this press look with this particular play. I think I go into the stretch play once again, and I'm going to try to run it off to the strong side where the tight ends are at. And he gets a nice little, a block shed with his defensive tackle to get in the backfield right there. So 2nd and 10, I'm going to go ahead and jump into this play, which is going to be the weak flood. And I have this curl set up for any kind of a man blitz, whereas a man blitz and stuff like this. So that's why I have that particular play set up. I'm going to quick snap it, knowing that he's probably going to go with the crosser. You can see he goes with the crosser, and he's got some pressure coming in. And this curl route is where you really want to go with it. So I throw it deliberately. The guy goes up high for the ball, gets knocked down. 3rd and 11. Right read would have been a first down if I would have came down with it. That's the problem with Komet. Komet has actually been downgraded as a tight end because he's had some drops. So right here I jump back into this play once again, streaking up the tight end with the anticipation I can go and throw the tight end. There's some pressure reads right here. And then I don't like it. I go ahead and switch out of it. Do a deep comeback route, streak up the running back. Once again, he's switching off guys, but you can see that these guys are sitting right here. I have the deep comeback, I hit this guy. This guy had a pretty good memory defensively, but I hit him with the seam route right here with the running back and basically do not come down with it. So 4th and 11, I thought about punting the ball, but I just figured this guy, he's going to give him the option to milk the ball against me. I'd rather just give him a short field and get it back. So now I go ahead and jump into a different play. This is going to be the play action read play. And I decided just initially to basically block this guy, but I realized that he's setting pressure, then putting people back in the zones. I'm going to go ahead and take this guy, just put him on a streak route, and then I'm going to go ahead and take this guy, put him on a core route. And the justification behind that is I want to be able to hit this guy in the seams if he plays guys to the outside, because I've shown him I can hit him to the outside, the deep comeback routes, and hit the outside. You can see this guy slides out. I've got a curl route right here. I've got a curl right here, and then there's like an in route. But he gets himself a little bit slightly out of position. So he's running over to the strong side of the field, and I actually throw it right out to my running back. And the good thing about Swift now is that he's been getting upgraded with the roster because he's been breaking tackles and making plays, and as a result, I'm able to get a first down and keep this drive alive. So it's huge for me to do that right now, just to keep a drive alive. And if I can get 3 points, 7 points, it's great. I just need to go up 2 possessions against this guy. So now I jump into a different type of play. I streak these guys up, and I've got basically kind of just an underneath route right here. With the anticipation, I'm going to watch this guy, and I've got basically 1 and 2 is the clear out, and this streak is going to be my alerts. I don't think I checked for the alert, but let's go ahead and run it. So I could have thrown this play. That should have been the right thing because this guy's just kind of sticking right there. So the smart read is to throw that right away, hit that seam. I was waiting pretty much for the drag underneath, but I've got pressure coming off the edge. as I'm waiting for that, and I throw the ball away, but you can see the defenders in the area. So you got to throw the streak if you're going to run that, and I did not make that progression correctly. So back at it again. I go ahead and jump into a different play. Going to go into empty set, and this is really simple. I've got a flat that's going to pull out defenders. If I get the one-on-one man coverage, I'm going to hit this curl. If these guys start floating up into zones, this route will be open because of these two different routes right here. So that's going to be my second progression. So it's just two progressions based on the coverage. No defenders come out. This guy goes out to the sideline. I've got this in a curl route. I'm just going to go and throw that right away because that one defender is supposed to come over and play that, and as a result, I actually get myself another first down. So now I decide, okay, this guy's really bunching up his lines right against me. He's pushing everybody down. Let's jump in a duo out of this tray set and just see if I can hit this guy with a run. So you can see the blocking is just wonderful right here. I'm able to go and pick up 12 yards against him. Go ahead, no huddle, because I want to go ahead and make sure he stays in this defense. So I go back to duo, actually go into the base audible once again and hit this guy with the tight end route. You can see I can hit him down underneath and be able to go and pick up another big gainer right there just underneath. Now I go into the split field, backfield, with the hope that I get some pretty good blocking. I like the seal right here. I like the seal right here. And all I like to do is just kind of run right up this little alley. And I get stuck behind my offensive lineman and only pick up a yard. It should have been more, but I like that call. So back to the duo once again. He's got a bunch of people down in the box. Duo gets pretty good blocking right here and pick up another first down. So first and goal, just chewing the clock down into the fourth quarter against this guy. Basically, I'm just milking the clock against him, and I'm thinking, okay, I just got to go ahead and just milk the clock against this guy as much as possible. So I motion this guy out right here, and what I want to do is I want to watch this route and hit this if this defender stays flat-footed. But if he slides out, then I'm going to look for this little crossing route on underneath as my next progression. The post is what I missed. If I would have looked to 1, 2, and then 3, I would have been able to get another touchdown. So I left points off the board because when I snap the ball, this guy slides out. So I go to my next progression, and instead of looking over the top, I start looking underneath, and he's just kind of using the underneath route. And I think you got a little block shed going off right there where I actually go ahead and get sacked, fumble the ball, but pick it back up and get myself another down right there. So clock's moving along against this guy. I go and jump into a play that I haven't shown him yet. It's basically out of the deuce close formation. And I've got an extra defender over here, so I'm really looking to this route just to try to pick up a couple more yards. Just want to get a little bit closer to the end zone. And what I do is I get a little happy feet. You got to wait for this guy to cut out and then cut back in to go ahead and get that completion. You can see there's two other defenders right here. This route is kind of up and over. He's playing underneath sticks. I had another touchdown I missed because he was playing goal line stuff. I just wasn't me. This guy actually, he played very strange hybrid defenses. He's playing sticks type of stuff. He was very hard to really see what he was doing, but he was giving it back in the end zone. I just didn't take it. I didn't see it. So these are the things that you see when you do something a little bit later on. So right here I go ahead and jump into the escape route. And here's another situation where I miss a read against this guy with this year play. I've been finding as I've been labbing this play, this little in route can be very deadly. But I've got this one route right here, which with the running back route, you want to throw it before he cuts back because you can get yourself some pretty good yards. And I like this lane right here. So I think I tried to throw the ball right there, and his defender came up and swatted it down. So that could have been a completion for a touchdown, but I also had this in route on the back end that if I probably would have pressed it up a little bit more, one more mark, I'm probably going to hit this guy in the back in the end zone because of the way he was paying his coverage. Now, it is 2 minutes and 41 seconds left. I'm going to go ahead and just kick the field goal. in this type of situation, because it's all about possessions in this game. So I'm going to take the points against this guy and just take that. So he ends up struggling against my defense. It's 4th and 10 situation. I send the pressure against this guy, get him to quit out. But I wanted to show you basically some of the things I'm doing on offense with the Indianapolis playbook against a high-level defensive player. This guy knew what he was doing on defense. He created a lot of holes, but he also went ahead and challenged my reads and stuff like that. He didn't play generic defense. So once again, thank you for your support, guys. Until next time.